Brian, I do want to start here with the Giants. Most intriguing game for you. I know you're a Giants fan, so where are you looking at on this schedule? Like one of your favorite games you're circling?
Well, the first thing I will say is I was a little disappointed they didn't get any Sunday night game. I mean, they
Yeah.
they got one last year, and they started looking a lot better as the season went on to maybe think that they could get a Sunday night primetime game, but they didn't. It is what it is. They got three primetime games. They have week 2 on Thursday night against Washington. That's an interesting game because those are two teams that are kind of on the rise.
Yeah.
Two teams that could be competing for this division. We'll see. And then, week 8, they play the Chiefs on Monday night. And then week 11, they play Tom Brady and the Bucks in Tampa on Monday night. But the game I think I'm most interested in, and I think a lot of Giants fans have circled this game on their calendar, is week 12. They play the Eagles at home. And
Mhm.
we got a lot of animosity with the Eagles for sure after the whole Sudfeld thing.
Yeah.
So I really think that that's probably the game I'm most looking forward to. They open up the season against the Broncos, which is interesting, I will say. But yeah, I mean, looking down the three prime times at Chiefs, at Buccaneers, at Washington, I'm just excited to
Yeah.
see the schedule and just see what we're working with and just see what the Giants can do. Now we have the full slate of games in front of us, and the primetime games as well as the Eagles games are the ones that I'm looking forward to most, I would say.
No, yeah. I mean, like, I think this Giants team's actually going to be really solid. I mean, I know they were like, I mean, they were right on the playoffs, but they were 6-10. But I think they're going to take a step forward. And like as you said, they were playing a lot better down the stretch. That offensive line was playing a lot better down the stretch, which I think they're more confident about here. And they got just so many weapons. I mean, you go from obviously Saquon. I think people forget he was out for the whole year, and he should be good coming back, and obviously one of the best running backs in the league. But then, I mean, that receiving core this year with Galladay and now Kadarius Toney, who I really like, you ahead already to Sterling Shepard and, what they're doing. And who knows with Evan Ingram, but, you still kind of hold out hope there from the tight end. But they don't even need him to be that good because you have, to me, Galladay, who's a number one guy. I really do believe that. And then Toney, I think he's a guy, he just gets open. I mean, he's one of those guys in college. He got so much separation and, kind of reminds me of Justin Jefferson a lot, just his route running ability, way to get open. And that's worked out for the Vikings. So I think for the Giants' sake, they obviously want that to work out. But I mean, for me, it's not a game. It's more of a stretch of games. And it's that end of the season, that 3 division games in the final 4 games, that will probably decide it. That will probably decide the NFC East, if we're being real. I do think this Giants team, will be right in the thick of it. And I think that's, looking at the stretch, you play everybody. You play Dallas, you play Washington, and you play the Eagles. That's going to be huge because if you can, win 2 out of 3 or, sweep, that probably will get you the division. And you'll probably be in it up until that point, even if you're not playing your best football in the beginning of the season, which is obviously, if you can peak at the end, not only do you, obviously going into the playoffs, that would be huge, but you play a lot of division games. Kind of reminds me when the Giants were on those like 2011 runs when they were playing a lot of division games down the stretch as well in 2007. So that's kind of those games I circle on the schedule because, it really is like, I mean, if they can win those games, it's going to make or break their season.
I mean, I think that Cowboys game week 15 could be
Yeah.
really interesting. I mean, that's probably got, a lot of that's going to have a lot of eyes on it if both these teams are even and, have competition for the division. And, week 18, that feels weird to say now
Yeah.
that it's a 17 game season, but week 18 home against Washington. I mean, we'll see. I don't see the Eagles being much of a factor in the NFC East this year. That's just my opinion, but I mean, the Cowboys and Washington late in the season, those could be really important games. And that's definitely a good point. I definitely think that these games, they could have a lot more. They don't look that intriguing now because,
Yeah.
they're just division games. But, when you get down to, December and close to January, these could be really pivotal games in the Giants season. And I just can't wait to see how the season unfolds. And hopefully they can, get off to a good start and hopefully be playoff contenders as the season goes on.
Yeah, I think that's going to be, imperative for them and those division games. I mean, like even that Eagles one, like, even though if they're not good, that's a huge game, helps with tiebreakers and stuff. So that'll be really important.